summer makes the perfect Christmas gift and outstanding value for the whole family. The best in the world are coming, so book at Ticketek now.
Welcome back to Melbourne Park, day 2 of the AO Wildcard Play-off for 2012. Our final match coming up. Going to be young Luke Saville from South Australia up against the 5th seed James Duckworth from New South Wales. Both players preparing to come out onto court in just a moment. But the number 2 seed is through, Marinko Matosevic. It was a good battle, tough battle against Sam Groth. He got through 6-4, 7-6. He'll take on this.
As you used to it as well. I don't think it's going to change too much out of here, and just looking forward to the challenge.
Play well.
Thanks a lot.
Luke Saville, who had a battle royale in the final match yesterday. And here is his opponent, James Duckworth.
James, I noticed you've got the iPod in there. Is there some particular music you listened to prior to the match?
I listen to a range of things just to get me ready, and hopefully I can play a good match today.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Not wanting to reveal his musical interests, but I'm sure it's got him pumped up, ready to go. In our final match for broadcast here on tennis.com.au. Peter Mercado rejoins me, and Pete, the draw is starting to take shape now.
Yeah, we've almost got the quarterfinals sorted, haven't we, Brett? This is the last of the round 2 matches to be played, and looking at it, it's an interesting lineup, and there are a few faces in there that you look around and think, okay, well, they're making their mark this event, and we always see a couple of faces, or a couple of names that pop up. So names like Kyrgios, JP Smith this year, Michael Luke as well. And it'll be very interesting to see who comes through in this match. James Duckworth, of course, having the bye. Luke Saville struggled a little bit against Chris O'Connell, eventually getting through. And the junior Wimbledon champion will take a little bit of confidence out of that match, and looking forward to a game against James Duckworth, who made his mark at this event last year.
He did, and the winner of this match will play Ben Mitchell, who had 2 tough sets getting over Barton. That was out on court 5 a little bit earlier.
So it's been a good day. I was just wandering around outside, Brett, and it's quite warm. Quite warm out there at the moment. 28 degrees is what we went for. It's pretty sure we're at 28 now, and the weather expected to be even better tomorrow as well. So we'll get the majority of the tournament through, which is great to see. That hasn't been affected by the weather at all to this stage. Yes. We're not mentioning the R word.
And no rest day. We're going all the way through to Sunday. So the men's quarterfinals will be across a couple of days, and the semis, of course, on the weekend. The finals here on Sunday from midday. So if you can't get down here during the week, just pile in for the weekend. You're going to see some great action, the Battle of the Codes. You might see some other players on the outside courts just, gearing up their preparations for the summer, practicing.
Now, Brett, we should probably, while we've got the opportunity here, the players are warming up, cover off on some other tennis news from around the place. And the Geelong Lawn Tennis Centre has been named as the venue for the Davis Cup tie first round next year, Australia versus China, which I think is either the first or the second week.
Second week, I believe.
Of Feb.
Yeah, a couple of weeks after the Australian Open.
So the players not having to travel too far, and
well, that's terrific.
Streamers not having to travel too far. 8, 9, 10 of Feb next year.
Well, the Geelong
2012.
Geelong Lawn Tennis Club has had a terrific reputation over a long time. So,
yes,
great reward. We saw, of course, Glen Iris this year host the Fed Cup here in Melbourne.
And the move is on now to play at the smaller venues too, just space, etc. A great opportunity that it did go out to a tender process, and clubs were invited to tender for the venue to be the hosting venue, and there's a whole list of criteria that need to be followed. So your bigger clubs will tend to be a part of that and get themselves involved. And I know from Glen Iris's point of view that they were pretty happy with the way things went. And so they'll be looking for a similar sort of thing down at Geelong. And it's good for the players too, playing on grass. That's the opportunity to stay in Melbourne or stay in Australia for a couple of weeks too before travelling off the rest of the tour will probably be a good thing. For some of the backup players to play at the Burnie International directly after the Australian Open is a good opportunity to get some match play in there. Well, we've had a good recent history against the Chinese as well, and playing on a grass surface where they haven't had a lot of success, then all serves well for Australia to get through that and then try and push their way towards a World Group playoff later in the year.
It does. Great sporting town, Geelong. They love their sport. And no doubt they'll get out in some really good numbers to watch some world-class tennis. Big year for our Davis Cup team to elevate themselves, hopefully, back into the World Group. A tough one to swallow against the Swiss in Sydney back in September. And we will continue to see, of course, the changing face of our Davis Cup team. Bernard Tomic, of course, being introduced in the last 12 months. Matt Ebden, who's risen into the top 100, has had a chance to sort of be part of the whole squad and the team and get the feel for what it's like to represent Australia. So, yeah, big tie coming up in Geelong, second week of Feb. Just keep an eye on tennis.com.au for all the broadcast details and all the news leading up. So James Duckworth from New South Wales on your screen there. Had the bye in the opening round.
So it's been a good day of tennis already, Brett, with Ashley Barty again the highlight, but not too far behind was JP Smith. Really impressive against Chris Guccione today and signalling his intentions for the rest of this week through to a quarter-final with Michael Luke.
Yeah, he's a beauty, JP. I've enjoyed his two matches so far. Defeating, of course, Maverick Baines on the opening day. So this one not too far away from getting underway. We'll keep an eye on the outside courts as well. Those scores continuing to come through. Matches in progress. Dane Propoggia, of course, is through. JP Smith, Greg Jones, Michael Luke, Ben Mitchell on the men's side in this knockout format. Nicholas Kyrgios, Marinko Matosevic, all through to the second round. We know Casey Delac was able to get her campaign back on track in the round robin format today. Ashley Barty 2-0 from her two matches, going beautifully. The junior Wimbledon champ. Arina Rodionova has won her match in straight sets against Alison Bai. Bojana Babusic, who we spoke to from WA. That's a small upset there. The fifth seed defeating the fourth seed in Sally Peers. Victoria Rajacic against Storm Sanders, 5-2. She leads that match. That is out on court number 8. Isabella Holland still to play this afternoon, taking on Alenka Hubacek. And Olivia Rogoska, Daniela Jeffley. I think Rogoska certainly was up in that match. We might just get a final score. I'm pretty sure she has saluted there, the number 2 seed from Victoria. So we're getting through the matches, thick and fast. Any tweets coming through? Hashtag AO Play-off if you want to send through. And Roscoe, we can give you that final score, 6-3-7-5. So Olivia
Duckworth won the toss and chose to serve.
Question from Andy Stradwick. Why are the men's and women's draw different in the AO Play-off? It more relates to the size of the draws. So it's a bigger draw for the men than it is for the women. So it's not necessarily practical to run a round robin event. Paul, how tennis says Matosevic looks like Bagdatis.
Yes, he does.
Adam D. Bain, how many AO qualifying wild cards are there? There's one for men, one for women from this tournament. I think is what you mean. Official Brendo. Olivia Rogosco's had another straight sets win. Go Liv. So keep them coming through. The hashtag AO Play-off.
Of course, the runners-up often have
got it as
got a
well.
wild card into the main draw. So this should be a good battle, this one.
15 love.
That's a way to start.
Nice crispy ace down the middle of the court. So again, just a reminder, we don't have a full complement of lines people on the court, so the chair umpire have to make some of the calls from the chair.
Started aggressively here, Duckworth. Their pace. Great serve down the middle. Bit of kick and bite in that at the end. So he's racing through his opening service game. And he goes long, Saville, so an easy hold for James Duckworth. Letting it 1 game to love.
Oh, Brett, we've got the Australian Open wildcard playoff for the Australian players, but also there's a wildcard playoff for the USTA wildcard that's as part of a reciprocal arrangement there. And the men's field has been named for that to be played in Atlanta from December 16 to 18. Robbie Ginepri, Dennis Kudla, and I think that's Jack Sock.
Jack Sock.
Yeah,
He's
Daniel
back.
Kozłowski, Jesse Levine, reigning NCAA singles champion from USC, Steve Johnson, Bobby Reynolds, and Ryan Williams.
Closed out the volley nicely there, did Saville.
15 love.
Just also on the Friday night, that's December 16 to 18, the World Team Tennis Exhibition will be held with the USTA Director of Player Development Pat McEnroe and Jim Courier, who's the Davis Cup captain, to be the coaches. Melanie Udan playing in the women's event, as we've got a conversation here. Good shot.
30 love.
The women just going through, tidying up on the women's draw. Melanie Udan, as I mentioned there. Jamie Hampton. Alison Risk. Coco Vanderway. Gail Brodsky. Madison Keys. Grace Min. And the 15-year-old Taylor Townsend are the women selected to play. And a couple of players from the Atlanta area, Arena Falcone and Donald Young, will be on hand to help promote the event.
And of course last year, Ryan Harrison, very good up-and-coming young player from the US, won his way through, and Lauren Davis, I think, took on Sam Stosur, did she, in the first round here? Good little neck cord advantage. Does Duckworth. It wasn't much of Lauren Davis. She was small in stature, but yeah, Sam got through that comfortably. So double fault for Saville. The first break point opportunity here. James Duckworth.
If I remember correctly, last year with the USTA playoff, we were able to link up via Skype and have a chat to them over there. It's a good event and really makes a lot of sense to give again some crucial match play in December. Tournaments around.
So second double fault in this game, and it's given James Duckworth a nice early advantage here, leading at 2 games to love. Early breaker serve.
James Duckworth talked about had a really good 2011. He's up around his career high ranking. Was 260 in November. It's dropped a little bit to 269. But he's won a heap of futures events in Italy, in Poland, runner-up events there as well. Reached plenty of quarterfinals along the way. Competed in some challenger events as well. So he's had a good year as he continues to rise up the rankings. He's about to turn 20 years of age in January, so the Australian Open's on.
40 love.
Right,
Birthday present would be to have a wild card into the main draw.
He's always been very solid in his frame. Strong physique.
14, 15.
That is just precision right there.
Not bad shot at all.
Luke Saville.
Out. Game.
From Saville. So James Duckworth off to a fly here. 3 games to love.
Duckworth
Opening
leads
set.
3 games to love.
For a spot in the quarterfinals of the AO wildcard playoff for 2012. Live here on tennis.com.au. What do you got there, Pete, around the courts?
Around the courts, Victoria Rachit's taking the first set from Storm Sanders, 6 games to 2. Games on serve in the second, 1 game apiece. And Belinda Woolcock is 1 love over Azra Hadjits there in that match there, the round robin
And
event.
Victorian.
So it's all Victorian affair. Oh, we've just been handed the Battle of the Codes team list, Brett. Notice tennis is being represented there, of course. But that's okay. So if you're an AFL fan, there's plenty for you here. So Bryce Gibbs and Jordan Russell will be representing Carlton for Collingwood. Shane Wakeland and Tarkin Lockyer.
Shane Wakeland.
Shane Wakeland.
Retired.
He has, so's Tarkin.
They have.
Still part of the program there, though.
They are.
Mitchell Sevier at love 3.
Nice
Saville
touch.
Sevier at
Saville.
love 3.
15 love.
Got so
Nice
many
touch.
names in front of me. For Essendon, David Zaharakis and Jake Melksham. For Geelong, Harry Taylor and TBC. Oh, it's so familiar.
He's a good player, TBC.
TBC.
He's got a wicked forehand.
Out.
Saville long again, so
For Hawthorn, the coach is running around. Al Clarkson, David Hale and the nightclub specialist Josh Gibson. Melbourne, Cale Morton, Lyndon Dunn.
and he sprayed that again.
15-30.
Saville, so Duckworth now.
So-
15-30.
Representing the agents or the Essentially group, Brendan Fevola. And Dyson Heppel.
In the news, Fev, today. Port Adelaide are interested. Well, their sponsor, I think, is interested. If they want $1 million, they've got to go and get Mr. Favola.
Out. 30.
Just completing that list, Richmond's Nathan Foley and Sean Grigg. For St Kilda, Paul Hudson and Scott Waters, so the coaching panel getting involved there. For the Western Bulldogs, Wilbur Minton at the top of that list. William Jones and Tom Williams.
Great shot, Saville, so an opportunity to get on the board here with the game point at 40-30.
For the Melbourne Storm, Ryan Hinchcliffe, David Kidwell and Craig Bellamy. The Melbourne Rebels, Tim Davidson and Hugh Pyle. For the Melbourne Vixens, Bianca Chatfield and Madison Brown. From Surfing Victoria,
Great shot, Duckworth. Gets it back to Juice.
deep into the corner of the court. From Surfing Victoria, Nick Muscross and Jack Perry. The Melbourne Stars, Georgie Bailey and Dave Hussey will be running around. And for the Bulleen Boomers, Liz Cambage and Rachel Jarry.
Out.
It's a hell of a lineup.
Oh, it's a good lineup. Tell you what, and the one thing they've all got in common, extremely competitive.
Yes. So looking forward to that. You'll be able to see it here. But if you're in the Melbourne area, it's free to come down and be a part of the Battle of the Coast, Saturday afternoon from 1.
Saville, a long service game here. Back to Juice.
We had an opportunity there, just dumping it into the net.
There is a rumour, I'll come back to that, Geelong with TBC. Half cap. He's putting his head up.
Double there, disappointing. Didn't you dress as half cat for a period of your life?
I did, yeah. I actually at the arena in Geelong did a bit of wrestling with one Benny Graham before he took a trip over to the US.
Anyone know you're in the suit?
Hard in those suits to get up, let me tell you.
Juice.
It's a long game here, the fourth game of the match. Both players have had opportunities. Oh, full stretch, almost got that.
Advantage. Saville.
Got racket to it. Got the motor along, been working on his speed around the court. Just missing.
Juice.
Gee, that was close to the line. Just over hitting
Duckworth.
a little bit too much, and again, Duckworth with a breakpoint opportunity.
Net. Fusser.
That's some sort of shot.
Well, the winner count continues to grow from both of these players, particularly on that forehand wing. Great depth from Saville again. Give himself another game point. Mentioned important game. Particularly for Saville, just to build that momentum, get himself on the board. Caught for a little while now. This by far the longest game of the match. One shanked. So another opportunity here for Saville.
It's coming back.
Another game point going begging.
Let's see if Luke can get on the board this time. He's had to work overtime here. What have we been going, PM? 10 minutes?
At least. So he finally breaks through, and that's an important hold for Saville. Otherwise this set pretty much gone. Get to 4 love. Let's go to Adrian Franklin, who's wandering around the courts. Got some updates for us.
Out here, guys. So let's start on court number 5. It's the battle of the Victorians. Azra Hadzik is up against Belinda Woolcock at the moment. Belinda Woolcock up 3 games to 1 early on in that match. We've also got a match over on court number 8. Victoria Rajicic is up 6-2, 2-1 against West Australian Storm Sanders. Storm yesterday had a really tough 3-set match, so this heat is probably not helping her out. And then on court number 7, where early stages, Isabella Holland up against Alenka Hubacek, and Isabella is up 2 games to 1 at the moment.
Thanks for that, Adrian. Around the courts. Oz Tennis Results is the Twitter handle to catch up on all the results from around the place today.
30 love.
Also the hashtag AO Play-off. We'll also have the results as they come through. Charlotte James looking after all the social media side of things. Doing a great job as always.
Yeah.
40 love.
Girl about Twitter.
So regulation service game here for Duckworth.
Wanted after the marathon fourth game.
40-15.
Plenty of pace off that Saville shot, but I suppose if you're 3-1 up, 40-15, you can maybe try a drop shot. Working the angles.
Yeah, Duckworth.
4-1 now, opening set. Duckworth running away with it.
Leads 4 games to 1.
Here in the
Seamus.
second round, the final of the second round matches of the AO wildcard playoff.
Any more tweets there, Pat? Any more traffic coming through? Hashtag AO playoff.
Not huge amounts coming through, just a lot of results, obviously, that we've been talking about throughout today. But keep them coming through. Hashtag AO playoff. There it is on your screen there. Be part of the conversation. Certainly been plenty of highlights today. The highlights packages on the website as well. Hear from the players.
So 2 games till the ball change, okay?
So, again, Mitchell, again, got his name on my mind, but Mitchell, we're talking about him throughout today. Luke Saville.
Lofty.
Again, just wrong-footed there.
15 all.
Saville was up to the challenge at the net. Just pushing it past Duckworth there. So Duckworth was in two minds as to where that ball will go, with Saville in good position early. That's a terrific return.
15-30.
Too big.
30 all.
So another breakpoint opportunity for Duckworth. Chance to go to 5-1. Really putting his stamp on this opening set. And there's the break. 5 games to 1 now.
Duckworth leads 5 games to 1.
Doing it very comfortably, Pete, as we go around the courts. And Victoria Rajacic 6-2 in the first, 3-all in the second with Storm Sanders. Isabella Holland, Alenka Hubacek, 2 games all in the opening set. And Belinda Woolcock and Azra Hadzic of Victoria, 3 games all, opening set around the grounds of Melbourne Park. Our focus right here on court 6, and a real battle for Luke Saville. In the opening set, the man serving for the opening set is James Duckworth of New South Wales. Certainly made his intentions clear very early, right from his first service game.
Top return. Really was. It came back with interest. Again, trying for that drop shot, which I like the idea of changing it up, but it's just not on at the moment. No real need to change things up at this stage. Nice work there from Saville moving forward. Just putting the pressure on Duckworth. Forcing him to come up with the passing shot. Nice low approach. And a couple of break points now for the South Australian, the junior Wimbledon champion. Swinging forehand volley. It's into the open court. Play very well. It's a tough shot to play. So we're back to juice now.
Net for serve.
Opens up another breakpoint opportunity for Saville. Another long game. Had a few of them in this first set despite the score line. Been on court for a little while now. Oh, it's a tremendous return. Return with interest. Got the break. But Luke Saville will come out and serve to stay in this opening set. Now, Brett, Christmas is coming. Have you done your Christmas shopping yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't put up a Christmas tree.
No?
Well, there's only myself and my lovely wife and the pup. So
don't feel the need. Well, if you're looking for gift options, why
This
not
good option.
tickets to the Australian Open? They do gift vouchers as well.
Yep.
So give the gift of voucher, but do it with a difference. AustralianOpen.com has all the details, and you buy yourself a gift voucher.
Yes, the magnificent Grand Pass is always great value for money. Let's take you inside. What is on offer for Christmas?
Ready, play at Australian Open 2012. A ticket to the biggest sport and entertainment event of the Australian summer makes the perfect Christmas gift and outstanding value for the whole family. The best in the world are coming, so book at Ticketek now.
Ticketek.com.au all starts January 16. The Grand Pass, always great value, particularly paid in that first week, $29, and you can just walk around all the courts. And some of the finest matches are often out in the back blocks here of Melbourne Park. Going the journey. Luke Saville serving here at 2-5. It's James Duckworth certainly still in control of this opening set. For the moment. Saville comes up with a good serve. Turn there from Duckworth. I've been given some magnificent fantails, PM, but not quite the appropriate time to eat them just at the moment. Although we've managed to slide one through.
So set point now for Duckworth.
Just holding his lower back then, Luke Saville. We saw him have just wincing a little bit yesterday in his match against O'Connell.
He's missed. So the first set going to James Duckworth. 6-2. Well, as we mentioned, Brett, there's plenty going on in the tennis world. The Davis Cup up in February. We've got a tie against China. Going to be played in Geelong this time around. And Adrian Franklin is outside and he's catching up with no one just yet.
No.
What an anticlimax that was.
Well, clearly you haven't got your glasses on.
SWAT team style. People have jumped in from everywhere. Someone dropped from the roof to tell me.
Taking your glasses off in the afternoon session. It wasn't clear English what was put up on the screen, but never mind. It was a good intro, though. It was going somewhere.
It was. Well, it is in Geelong next Feb.
Stand by. Coming up shortly here on tennis.com.au. James Duckworth taking the opening set. Doing a very nice job right here on court number 6. And Luke Saville with some work to do, but he faced a challenge yesterday against Chris O'Connell from New South Wales and was able to come through, but a seeded opponent today in Duckworth, who's risen into the top 300.
It goes up a step, doesn't it,
Absolutely.
today, really, for him. And you talked about those problems he had. He was clutching his lower back. It doesn't appear to be affecting him within the rallies. Hasn't called for the trainer, so...
Yeah, only just sort of held onto that lower back in that last point. So apart from that, hasn't shown any signs of discomfort. The sun's still shining here on Melbourne Park.
Long may it continue.
Tickettech.com.au for your AO tickets. We're only about 5 or 6 weeks away now. Brisbane and Sydney, Hobart, the AO series, and into the big one.
So Duckworth to serve to start off the second set.
Out 15 love.
Well done. Well done. Saville just moving forward there. The drop shot was nowhere near for Duckworth. Well, I was talking about the Davis Cup before. Now let me continue what I was going to say. Adrian has the CEO of Tennis Australia, Steve Wood, talking about the Davis Cup in Geelong. Adrian.
Absolutely. As if we don't have anything else exciting to talk about, we've got one more thing. The Davis Cup in Geelong. It's happening. Can you tell us a little bit about it, Steve?
Look, it's fantastic for a regional city to be getting the Davis Cup tie and down the highway here from Melbourne Park. It's going to be a great opportunity for us to showcase the best tennis in the world. We're playing against China and it'll be on grass, so it's a pretty exciting time for all involved.
And what is the process deciding on a Davis Cup venue?
When we figure out who it is we're playing, we ask the players what they'd like to play on in terms of the surface, and the Davis Cup captain Pat Rafter and Tony Roach, the coach, look at all of the angles, and then they tell us what they're looking for, and then we go around Australia to the member associations and ask for bids. And in this particular case, we had, I think, over 6 bids. So it was a very hotly contested process, and Geelong put a fantastic bid forward and have been successful.
And the December Showdown, obviously it's just getting bigger and better every single year. It's an incredibly exciting time at the moment. We have so many coaches, so many really great athletes out there at the moment. Tell us a little bit about the importance of this event now and also moving forward.
Yeah, look, we're extending the tennis season right from the Australian Open back into the early part of January and now right into December. And you can just look around the grounds here at Melbourne Park. You see, hundreds of people. Anybody in tennis is involved here in some way now, and we're going to play over 2,500 matches for the 3 weeks that we're here with the December Showdown. So it's live on the internet, as we can see here, and it's a pretty exciting time for us to see the best young talent coming through in Australian tennis.
We've got Luke Saville and James Duckworth playing out behind us at the moment. Do you ever get to go out and check out some of these players? You obviously hear about them, talk about them a lot. Can you actually get out there? Do you have time for that sort of thing sometimes?
I do have some time, but not often, and I do enjoy going out to watch the players. That's what it's all about for us. We want to deliver world champion tennis players and help them reach their full potential, and they help get other people interested in the game, and that's what drives participation. So I do like to get out and have a look, but 40 days out from the Australian Open, it's a pretty heavy time for me, and I don't get to watch too much tennis, but it is good to see it on the internet. I've been watching it inside in the office on the internet.
And, all importantly, how are we going?
Very good. I like your broadcast. You're doing well.
Yep.
So it's been fantastic to know that this is going around the world to anybody who wants to watch it. Is a great opportunity for us to showcase what we're doing here at the December Showdown.
It is all about the athletes, this event, but we've also got some exciting initiatives. We've had the Hot Shots kids coming through every day. We had cardio tennis today. The North Melbourne boys were out there. So they're 2 big programs moving forward for Tennis Australia.
Absolutely, yeah. Hot Shots and cardio tennis are critical for us. They're the programs that we're going to bring to the public and make them drive the participation that we're looking to have. So that's really critical for us, and we've got a lot of other activity here at Melbourne Park right now through the December Showdown, and I watched that as well on the internet this morning.
Moving forward, the Australian Open, 40 days away, as you've said. What's your role between now and then? What takes up most of your time?
Generally just coordinating our strategies around what we're doing for the Australian Open, and we're in execution mode now. making sure the site build goes to plan, all of those sorts of things. Then before we know it, the international players will be arriving in the back end of December as they get ready for the summer of tennis, and then from there we just go straight into operation mode. So it's pretty exciting. We've got a lot of marketing going on that we'll be promoting heavily in the next few weeks, the Australian Open. So pretty much just making sure that we execute a flawless Australian Open is what I'm looking to do.
Well, thank you very much for your time, and I'm sure we'll be speaking to you very soon.
Thanks, Adrian.
Thank you, Adrian. Very nice work having a chat with the CEO of Tennis Australia, Steve Wood. Very busy man and doing a tremendous job, of course, with the redevelopment going on here at Melbourne Park.
I've just got this image now after that interview with Steve that he's sitting in his office, he shuts the door, takes the shoes and socks off, feet up on the desk watching the stream.
Absolutely, as James Duckworth is going very nicely in this match. He's won the opening set against Luke Saville. He's won the opening game.
Hold my calls. I'll be out for a while. Sits back and watches the action.
In a bit of trouble here. Saville loved 30 on his serve.
Yeah, good hold from Duckworth in that opening game. Again, the opportunity presented itself for Saville there. Just could get across court. Been thereabouts today.
Just be careful of the player's feet, okay? That came very close.
Yes.
Duckworth.
Struggled a little bit with that ball at shoulder heights today,
Duckworth
Luke
leads
Saville.
2 games to love.
I think a loop ball's there, but 2 games to love now.
He certainly is in command. We might just go around the courts and check what is happening. Pete?
Yeah, we've got a win for Victoria Rage. It's 6-2, 6-3 over Storm Sanders today.
Oh, it's disappointing for Storm, but
It is.
of course Rand Robbins, so we'll be in action tomorrow.
Yes, she will. So, just confirming, 6-2, 6-3 the scoreline there, which means Isabella Holland and Alenka Hubacek. That match was moved from Court 8. And at the moment, Isabella Holland's leading by a set, 6-2 that set. And Hadzik and Woolcock 5 games all in the opening set there. They are the final matches. Of course, this one happening as well. To complete the schedule of play for today.
That's 15 on.
Some other points from Steve Wood's interview with Adrian before, talking about 40 days to go to the Open. Well, he has some sort of involvement with the other tournaments, the AO Series. Duckworth, so we're way out of position.
Yeah, huge
Tournaments
operation.
in Brisbane, Sydney, Hobart, all form part of that AO Series. Now Duckworth.
A couple of game points for 3 love.
And it's really important, you see a lot of players here, they've got a short window of opportunity. Of course, a lot of the European, obviously and American players, winter time over there. They come out of that, they've got 2 weeks to prepare for the first Grand Slam of the year, the first major of the year, and really they need to use every single opportunity. So talking about the top 100 men, top 100 women being in the draw, well, you're going to see Those top 100 men, top 100 women spread out all over the world, but in particular here in Australia in those lead-up events.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were saying, of course...
Now, Mitchell there... again, I'm saying Mitchell. I don't know why. But Saville
Don't even watch home and
was
away.
way out of position. And he seems to be in a spot of bother because he put that ball into the middle of the court and didn't run for it. Just waited for it, just let the point go. So 3 games to love, and I expect maybe those issues with your back might be causing a few problems. Did have a medical timeout yesterday, so...
Yeah, there's a little bit of strife here. Luke Saville. So James Duckworth in total control, but yeah, we're talking about that build-up to the Australian Open, and now that the Brisbane event has got premier status on the WTA Tour, we're seeing such a great field, and the likes of an Andy Murray coming to Brisbane. We've been up there. It's a terrific event. It really does simulate the conditions that the players will have here at Melbourne Park. Strong field in Sydney here again. The new sponsor, Apia, getting on board.
Yep.
Leighton, the ambassador, Lee Naar, Sam Stosur, Kvitova. The field continues to grow. And of course, you've been into Hobart. We'll have that live streaming. I mean, perfect backdrop there.
Yeah.
Nice little...
Oh, it's a beautiful, beautiful setup. I was talking to Eleanor Preston, who's going to be drifting in at some stage during this week. Who does some stuff with AO Radio as well, talking about Hobart, and she relates it to Monaco, just with a few more sheds in terms of the view set up there.
Well, I have been to Monte Carlo and driven past it. That is spectacular.
It is. The view,
The
it's
cliff top.
picturesque. Looking over the river there. So I look forward to getting down there. And those finals too, if you're not going to be on your computer, will be live on Fox Sports. So it's important here for Duckworth. He knows that Saville's not quite at full fitness. Purple Pete, by the way, hashtag AO Play-off has texted, had to do school pickup. He won between Groth and Matosevic. Well, Matosevic won in straight sets. 6-4, 7-6. Hashtag AO Play-off on Twitter. Be part of the conversation. Nice work from Saville, holding to love. So on the board in this second set, but holding the advantage, 3-1. So talking about the live streaming, about Hobart, but at that same week you'll be here for the qualifying tournaments.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Pete. Starting Wednesday, January 11th through to Saturday, Jan 14. Although I must say last year we had quite a bit of rain in the build-up, so we went through and played on the Sunday. But hot competition. Players from around the world fighting to get into the opening Grand Slam of the year.
Some late nights too, from memory.
Yeah, it was. We had the lights on. I think we were broadcasting from Show Court 3 last year, so I imagine we'll be there again.
And there'll be plenty of websites with that streaming coverage.
Yeah, well, the only Grand Slam to stream the qualifying, so it's a great initiative, and obviously a lot of interest in who gets those final spots in both the men's and the women's field.
Oh, nice work.
Cracking shot.
Yeah, just
James
a
Duckworth.
step behind Saville there, getting into the net. And nicely put away too. So an easy hold for Duckworth. 4 games to 1 now in this second set. He's running away with it.
So going to be a really big 6 weeks coming up, all starting, of course, here at the wildcard playoff. Certainly an exciting time of the year. Beautiful weather and the tennis, just a massive, the biggest international sporting event that certainly hits our shores here in the sporting capital. Azra Hadjic 7-5, Belinda Woolcock in the opening set.
So Azra with the first set there.
Isabella Holland going nicely.
Yep, 6 games to 2 and 1 love now in the second set. So these are the final matches that are being played around the courts today. Been a big day of action. Big day coming up tomorrow, men's quarterfinals, the first couple of quarterfinals to be played. So Duckworth in control. The winner of this match to play Ben Mitchell in the next round, the quarterfinals. Some loose shots again by Saville here. It's fortunately been a big part of his game today. Good attacking work from Saville there, just changing it up. Seeing that short ball opportunity coming in.
Are you heading inside Rod Laver Arena tonight, Pete?
4.
Big performer in town. Would have thought you would have been a fan.
You going to help me here?
Elton John.
Is Elton here?
Rod Laver tonight.
Oh, I didn't know that. The Rocket Man himself. Dolly Parton's been in town.
Dolly.
So break point here for Duckworth to go to a 5-1 lead. Of course, the Foo Fighters have been out at Amy Park, just behind Rod Laver Arena.
Great reviews.
Correction ball's good for serve.
Terrific second serve, ripped down the middle of the court. Full stretch Duckworth there, saving a break point to get it back.
Played it well.
Advantage, Saville.
It's been a tough day for Saville, but you know, he's a good up and coming young player. Only just still 17. So Saville is able to hold serve. Still James Duckworth is set and 4-2 up here for a berth in the quarterfinals.
So hopefully before we finish this afternoon we'll have an idea of the schedule for tomorrow, but if not, tennis.com.au. Just switch around on the website, you'll be able to find it. Just too strong at the moment, James Duckworth. Hasn't really been troubled on serve today, James Duckworth. That's terrific serve. A couple of times, these couple of long games, particularly in that first set. But from there, it's been smooth sailing. And there it is again.
Duckworth.
5 games to 2 now.
Duckworth leads 5 games to 2.
Taking the first set. And a chance here to set up a meeting with Ben Mitchell in the quarterfinals. So it's been a good day of action if you're just joining us. JP Smith had a good win over Chris Guccione today, 7-5, 7-6. Ash Barty defeating Stephanie Bengson of New South Wales, 6-2, 6-4. Marinko Matosevic, 6-4, 7-6 over Sam Groth. Wins also to Dane Propoggia over James Lemke. Ben Mitchell over Matthew Barton. Irina Rodionova over Alison Bai. Casey Delacroix straight sets win over Emlyn Starr. Win for the number 1 seed, Greg Jones. Also Michael Luke. Bojana Babusic, just to name a few. We got there in time. Was aiming for down the line, probably could have gone cross court. Terrific volley. Saw that Saville was scrambling at the back of the court. Terrific from the back of the court again. It's been good from Duckworth today. Work at the back of the court. Heavy ground strokes. Working to the corners of the court. Really some interesting quarterfinals coming up in the men. Some intriguing battles. JP Smith, Michael Luke we've already discussed. Kyrgios taking on Marinko Matosevic. Be an interesting game. Greg Jones and Dane Propoglia. And now another breakpoint opportunity and match points for James Duckworth. That was brave, deciding to take that overhead on the full.
He strikes back here, so he's not throwing in the towel, Luke Saville. Wouldn't have expected him to.
Second serve too short and dealt with. So back to Juice again. Or tough call. So the umpire that time overruling. Gee, that was close to the line. The umpire only ever overrules 100% sure. Match point again. That's too big. So there we go.
Duckworth, 2 sets to love.
James Duckworth, the number 5 seed, is through. And in the end, did it quite comfortably. 6-2, 6-2, the final score.
Yeah, great result, Pete.
Very happy with his efforts today. The number 5 seed is through, taking on the number 3 seed in the quarterfinals, Ben Mitchell.
Yeah, very solid off the ground, served well. He, in fact, made his intentions very clear from his opening service game. At great pace, very aggressive, and it was a man on a mission, James Duckworth, today. So well done to him. He's developed very nicely over the last couple of years. Inside now the world's top 300 and hopefully continuing to rise. And we're standing by for him to have a chat to Adrian Franklin courtside. We'll update you on some of the other matches and we'll preview what is coming up on a big Thursday here on tennis.com.au.
So while we've got the opportunity, we will check those outside courts. Azra Hadzik, 7-5 over Belinda Woolcock and leading 1 game to love in the second set. And Isabella Holland 6-2 over Alenka Hubacek and leading 2-1 in the second.
Let's go courtside now. The winner, James Duckworth, with Adrian Franklin.
James, we're into the quarterfinals, mate. How does that feel?
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough match. I'm good friends with Luke. We trained together at AIS. It's always tough playing a mate, but yeah, I'm happy I got through. It's my first match on hard court since February. So yeah, it was a bit of a difference to playing on clay, but yeah, happy I got through.
Did it take you a little while to get into the match, considering the different surface?
I actually think I started off better than I finished. Yeah, I came out of the blocks quite well, and then yeah, I guess towards the end I got a little bit flat, but you know, work on that.
You mentioned you were in the AIS program up in Canberra. What happens up there exactly? Take us through a year in the life of an athlete in the AIS.
Well, yeah, it's a great program. I think there's 12 athletes there. Myself and Luke and Ben Mitchell, and there's a few others. And yeah, basically they provide us with coaching, strength and conditioning, nutrition.
He had a position, and he seems to be in a spot of bother because he put that ball into the middle of the court and didn't run for it. Just waited for it, just let the point go. So 3 games to love, and I expect maybe those issues with your back might be causing a few problems. Did have a medical timeout yesterday, so
Yeah, there's a little bit of strife here. Luke Saville. So James Duckworth in total control, but yeah, we're talking about that build-up to the Australian Open, and now that the Brisbane event has got premier status on the WTA Tour, we're seeing such a great field, and the likes of an Andy Murray coming to Brisbane. We've been up there. It's a terrific event. It really does simulate the conditions that the players will have here at Melbourne Park. Strong field in Sydney here again. The new sponsor, Apia, getting on board.
Yep.
Leighton, the ambassador, Lee Naar, Sam Stosur, Kvitova. The field continues to grow. And of course, you've been into Hobart. We'll have that live streaming. I mean, perfect backdrop there.
Yeah.
Nice little.
Oh, it's a beautiful, beautiful setup. I was talking to Eleanor Preston, who's going to be drifting in at some stage during this week. Who does some stuff with AO Radio as well, talking about Hobart, and she relates it to Monaco, just with a few more sheds in terms of the view set up there.
Well, I have been to Monte Carlo and driven past it. That is spectacular.
It is. The view
The
is
cliff top.
picturesque. Looking over the river there. So I look forward to getting down there. And those finals too, if you're not going to be on your computer, will be live on Fox Sports.